and I just on the outside looking in, I can't imagine a front office being happy with the way the youngsters have been developed this season.
Does it look like there's synergy from top to bottom?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not this season.
No.
Not this season.
Like
Bob Myers, Damien makes a good point. Does Bob Myers feel compelled to make a deal? We don't know if Bob Myers is coming back. We don't know. He may.
Well, his
He may
job,
get paid.
his job right now, in season, is to try to win a championship.
Right.
That's the ethos of where this team is right now, right?
Yep. Here's my problem.
But we also don't know what their long-term objectives are as
Right.
well, because you cannot be, penny wise, pound foolish, and sell off whatever the owner wants to have for, down the line. Like everyone has to be in lockstep. We talk about this with the Niners, talk about this with the Giants, talk about this with every sport.
Right.
Top to bottom, they have to be in lockstep. It just feels like to me there's not a lockstep.
I don't think the front office is happy about the youngsters not playing.
I'm not.
And then you look at their record at 28-27. They're 7-21 on the road, right? 7-21 on the road. I don't believe, I could be wrong here, but I don't think there's ever been an NBA champ who's finished under 500 on the road. Now, I could be wrong there. Maybe there's a couple teams that's done that. But the Warriors are going to be under 500 on the road. Not even going to be close. So, with that said, not playing the youngsters, it stinks. Like I said this earlier this season, first 10 games, and Ronnie and Petaluma just echoed my sentiments. 10-15, the first 15, 10-15 games. Play the kids, and don't just play them together. I want to see, like, we should have saw Kuminga play a lot more with Wiggins and Draymond Green. We should have saw Wiseman play a lot more with Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson. Should have saw Moody play a lot more with Wiggins and Steph and, Klay Thompson. Instead, you played them all together. They're getting cooked with the second unit. They're taking all the bullets for the losses, and now look at you. Now look at the Warriors, right? They're 55 games in, and we still don't know about James Wiseman. We still don't know about Moses Moody. It's been a disaster on that front. So what kind of trade value do they have? I have no idea. The most value they have right now, I believe, is controllable contracts because we just don't know what type of players they are.
Well, and even if you're one of these people that say, oh, you got to trade Jordan Poole at some point, because he's making so little money right now, he's one of the few value pieces they have, but he has a big extension that kicks in next year. So when you do this whole, it's like a puzzle. You got to match up contracts on either side. You're probably getting more bang for your buck if you wanted to move off of Jordan Poole in the offseason when the money kicks in, as opposed to right now when he's only making a couple $1 million.
And I don't know if I could trade him.
No, I'm with you, but I'm just saying, hypothetically,
Right.
people that want to trade this guy and that guy. So, and again, I feel like the Warriors have kind of boxed themselves in the sense that, when you have these high draft picks, they don't become tradable in terms of valuation of money until you make the selection. Then when you make the selection, they're only making a couple $1 million. Like right now, Moody, he's under $5 million.
I know.
Okay, you can't just staple that to somebody like, go get me Kevin Durant.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Wiseman and Moody, staple it together with a bunch of other picks.
The funniest part about all that, because I hear you.
It doesn't fit.
Because not all Warrior fans do that.
I know.
But you got your fans who say, Wiseman stinks, Moody stinks, all these guys stink.
Like it's their fault.
But then on the flip side, they'll say, well, why don't you just trade Wiseman and Moody for Kevin Durant? And it's like, wait, you just said those players stink. So if you believe your own players on your own team stink, why the hell would Brooklyn Nets trade Kevin Durant if you think they stink? You don't think Sean Marks in Brooklyn or, all these other Daryl Morey in Philadelphia, you don't think they think the same thing you think? They see the same thing and they got a lot more data than you. You know what I'm saying? You see when that happens?
I totally get what you're saying.
It was like the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing. Go trade Jimmy Garoppolo for 2 first-round picks. But I heard you all year say Jimmy Garoppolo sucked. How the hell are you going to get 2 first-round picks for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, because fans are delusional at times.
So there you
go. At times. I'm not saying all of them, but at times. Look, they're in a tough situation. And if we're going to be fair, I was praising Klay Thompson yesterday. I was just thinking about it, and without the Kevin Durant news, obviously going to Phoenix, I was going to come in here and I was going to say, man, I really was losing my mind the first month and a half of the season because Klay wasn't playing well. He was not. He wasn't playing well. And then the last, however, 2.5 months, 3 months, he's been outstanding. And I was going to come in here and say, B, this might be one of the most remarkable, just what he overcame. ACL, Achilles. Wow. For him to even be close to as efficient offensively as what he was.
You finally listened to me.
Okay, but I'm just saying, I was ready to come in here and be like, it's incredible where he's at. Incredible.
We talked about that on the pregame show yesterday. I asked Festus, I said, is he back to that all-star form? And Festus says, look at the numbers. He's putting up all-star numbers. And we get so lost in the sauce. I literally said this on the show yesterday, I believe. I was like, dude, Klay Thompson were after the OKC game. We don't talk about it enough.
No.
2 gruesome leg injuries. And he just had a career month in January.
But so with that backdrop of what we just said, it makes it even more like, damn, I should really be appreciative of that title last year. Man. Because it was like a perfect storm of the league was kind of down and things happened around them. They played really well. They seized their opportunity. They made the most of it. They might not ever be in a Western Conference Finals again. Now, I hope they do. You know, everyone, you got to maximize Steph. Steph already, if he doesn't do anything, has as many championships right now as LeBron James.
Yep.
He has more than Larry Bird.
He has more than Kevin Durant.
So don't sit here and say the organization didn't build around Steph. The owner wouldn't spend that's false.
That is false.
That's false.
That's
to
very
think
false.
that they're going to rattle off 8 or 9, championships, that's pie in the sky.
You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and AC1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. Let's go to Coach Hall down in San Diego. Coach Hall, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
And first off, last night, I feel like we gift-wrapped that game
Sure
and gave it away.
Sure did.
I knew we were going to lose once I saw Draymond throw a lob to Jordan Poole. And it's like, dude, just lay the ball up. Why are we
Unbelievable
on the threes? As far as this Wiseman thing, man, I really feel like we failed him as an organization.
Yeah.
We kind of set him up for failure as far as, not playing him. Because, potential has a shelf life. And other teams see that. So, like you said, Shaz, we kind of boxed ourselves in. I don't really see nothing happening. I would like to see, maybe a Toronto trade, Siakam, OG. But then, like you said, what do we give up, to get those players? Because it's obvious we need wings and size. And it's like everybody got better overnight in the West, and we just sitting here in 10th place like, wow, what's gonna happen? So
No doubt.
I don't know. What you guys think about maybe OG or Siakam? What will we have to give up?
Well, they probably have to give up. Toronto's going to ask about Jonathan Kuminga. And to me, that's a non-starter.
I'm not giving up Kuminga.
I can't give up Kuminga because he could become Siakam
And even,
next year or the year after.
And even OG, we're going to get OG and
OG Anunoby does nothing for me. He's a nice player.
As what? What is as an 8th man rotational piece?
He's better than that.
No, but I'm asking. Okay, who's he gonna?
He's 17 tonight.
Is he gonna start?
Maybe in a small ball lineup. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
And he's getting 17 a night on this team. That's what I'm just asking.
I don't. Look, I'm not giving up a lot for OG Anunoby. I'm with you there. I'm not giving up a lot.
I'm not trying to discredit him.
And I'm not trying to trade Jonathan Kuminga for that.
No, me neither.
So I'm not.
If
I'm not doing that.
Kuminga had switched spots in terms of usage rates, I think Kuminga would average 18 points a night.
He would, and he'd get to the free throw line a lot more than OG Anunoby.
Yes, I would agree there.
So I don't know what moves they can make, but to Coach Hall's point, the organization did fail James Wiseman. Now, James Wiseman's body failed him.
Well, both are true.
You know what I'm saying? So the lack of development, you got a bunch of coaches on the bench. It just may not be a fit here, and that's okay. Sometimes you got to chalk one up. We've seen the Niners chalk it up many times on their failed first-round picks, especially under Lynch and Shanahan. Sometimes you got to chalk things. We should have chalked things with Trey Sermon, chalked it up with Joe Williams, chalked it up with Jerick McKinnon. Sometimes you got to chalk it up with James Wiseman. Now, what are you going to get back? Not what you think you're going to get back. Anyway.
But again, the reality is that we're scapegoating a couple of youngsters who would be rotational pieces at best. Mm-hmm. And yes, I would like them to be farther along. But to say that they're the reason why the Warriors are one game over 500 today, I don't buy it. They're not where they should be because they're not as good. They're not executing in games that are winnable games. How you do this for a living. You are the voice and face of Warrior basketball on my television.
That would be Bobby Fitzgerald.
Pre and post. Bonte, how many games can you count that they, maybe they don't win them all. But how many games can you count where it's like, I can directly point to 5 minutes to go, fourth quarter, where they lost the game
So
in the fourth quarter
with the veterans,
with the veterans.
Orlando, Miami,
I think
South Beach.
Yes.
You're up 4 against Charlotte in the last minute. You lost in overtime. Last night. How about the Brooklyn Nets game the day the Niners beat the Cowboys? How about that game?
That game was horrible.
How about the Boston Celtics
With
game?
Steph on the floor.
How about the Boston Celtics game? You had control of, and you lost in overtime.
Was that
on the
Saturday
parquet
night
floor?
game?
Thursday night game.
Thursday
TNT.
night game, TNT. That's right. I knew it was a national.
All right. How about that game?
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Oh, the Minnesota
T-Wolves
game.
Oh, yeah. You're up 13 in the fourth quarter. Dino hits 4 threes in the fourth, and Naz Reid looks like Karl Malone 2.0.
Bonte, I was going to name maybe 12 games. And let's say you win 7 and lose 5 instead of losing all 12. Like, just a couple. Look, this team, I think Draymond's been a great Warrior forever. But when I saw Draymond rush to Twitter after the Kevin Durant trade and go, I can't wait to podcast about this. Hey, Draymond, how about you say I can't wait to hit a layup when I'm sitting right underneath the hoop instead of kicking it out to the three-point land? I mean, I know that you're allowed to have extra interests. I'm not here to say that he shouldn't be podcasting. But when I see him run to Twitter and be like, I can't wait to podcast about Kevin Durant, when we don't get Kevin Durant and he goes to the Phoenix Suns, I'm like, dear God, Draymond, read the room.
Dude,
you just lost a horrible game to the Phoenix Suns that you needed.
You think TK's regretting coming to the studio today? It's a lot going on. Tim Kawakami joining us live in studio from 8 to 9 o'clock. We got big news. So we get Josh Hart right before tip-off from the Portland Trail Blazers. Go to New York City. He's going to go play with his old college buddy, Jalen Brunson. And he's going to be a New York Knick for Cam Reddish. Jakob Poeltl goes from San Antonio to Toronto. Kyrie makes his Dallas Maverick debut last night, and they beat the Clippers.
And he closes them out.
Yes, closed them out.
I'll say this.
Really,
he's a controversial person.
But on the court, he's an absolute
he's a great
assassin.
Closer.
He beat the Warriors by himself.
Yeah, he's so sick.
He beat the Warriors by himself. Kyrie's a bad dude on the court. Some will say a bad dude off the court. That's your opinion, though.
I didn't say that.
All right? No, I'm not you.
Oh, I thought.
The Lakers, they make a move.
They're better. I don't know how much better, but the Lakers are better today.
And now the Phoenix Suns trade for Kevin Durant and T.J. Warren. They give up Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, a pick swap, and they were able to keep DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul. Kevin Durant is out west again, folks. It's a problem. The West just loaded up.
It's the guy I wanted.
So what should the Golden State Warriors do now? Trade deadline in less than 5 hours. Bob Myers on the clock. Steve Kerr on the clock. Here's Steve Kerr. We'll play a soundbite last night. Steve Kerr basically said it's on the front office. Whatever they do, they do.
See ya.
Well, I love how now it's like you trade Wiseman, multiple future picks, get us Kelly Olynyk. Like a much better Jonas Jerebko is the reason why the Warriors aren't where they should be this year.
888-957-9570.
I just wanted to say Jonas Jerebko.
Yeah, I know you did. Let us know about the biggest games and stories in the Bay Area prep scene. Email us at hss@957thegame.com. That's hss@957thegame.com. And what's coming up?
If you're a high school out there, no, don't just read it. If you're a high school out there,
well, we got a break.
Tell us about your team. We want to know about these big moments. Last night, Mitty put up 90 points in a girls' basketball game. They got a freshman who's on the cover of the Merck sports section. You got to sell it to the audience. If you have a high school out there, hss@957thegame.com.
How about you sell some other schools other than Mitty and Reardon? All the schools you talk about.
I'm talking about girls program. Trying to diversify
Shout
my
out
portfolio.
Palma High School's own Jamari Bouye getting the call up.
Yeah, I did see
that. USF
There
Don.
you go. We might as well just go straight through, skip the break. I might as well take some calls.
The boss called me to tell me, don't just read it, sell it.
He called you that today?
Yesterday. We had a long talk.
Well, good for you guys.
Every inch of my body and anything that comes out is for sale. I don't like that.
What's coming up on the game? Sponsored by CalHope.org and Department of Healthcare Services. We're going to just sell things and not read it. That's what we're going to do on the rest. We're going to sell it.